Political analyst sa si Professor Froilan Calilong. Prof, good evening. Si Admar ulit, si MJ. Ngayon pong 10 oras ng gabi.
Good evening, Admar. Good evening, MJ. At magandang gabi po sa lahat ng ating mga taga-subaybay.
Prof, nakarating na ho ba sa inyo yung meeting ni VP Sara at ni former Vice President Leni Robredo? Ano ba ang epekto nito sa ating political landscape?
Well, basically, itong meeting na to, no, sinasabi nga nila parang it was just a chance meeting. Pero alam niyo naman sa ating politika na wala namang isang pangyayari that happens by accident, ano. So I believe na meron talagang mas malalim na pagkakahulugan itong nagganap na meeting na to sa Peña Francia event, ano. And I think on the part of the Vice President, if she really would have some kind of political motives, especially running for the presidency in 2028, I think this is also a good call, to some extent, because let's face it, VP Leni Robredo still has a command. Meron pa rin siyang loyal following, especially doon sa mga progressives and middle class. And I think if VP Sara Duterte could actually rally this political base of Leni Robredo to also support her cause, especially in 2028, I think this will be a pretty good thing for her, no, na mangyayari. Pero maaring may iba na nagsasabi na this is not going to happen or this is impossible. But in Philippine politics, as with any other instance, pwede naman talaga mangyari yan. Ano? Sabi nga natin, in politics, it's the art of the possible, as they say.
Pero anong dulot nito sa panig ng mga yellow at kakamping? For one, si dating Senador Trillanes pumapalag dapat sasampahan raw sana pa na impeachment yung vice. Pero ba't daw kinausap at nagpag-meeting kay former VP Leni Robredo?
Yes, actually, kung titingnan natin, may punto rin naman dito siguro si former Senator Trillanes, kasi nga yung kanilang political ideologies, leadership styles, and their supporters talagang vastly different, no? Actually, very polarized nga to the extent na noong 2022 elections, talagang makikita natin very glaring yung difference, no. If ever siguro magkakaroon ng pagsuporta, this will require significant negotiation and concessions and their respective political bases. Actually, might find it difficult to reconcile these differences. At ito nga ay maaari yung pinag-uugatan nung binabanggit ni Senator Trillanes na why are we going to ally, with what he perceives to be as a traditional enemy. So I think ito yung malalim na pinaghuhugutan ni Senator Trillanes. But yun nga, maaari kasi nating tignan na din naman ito, as an act of goodwill on the part of the VP Duterte, na isang pagpapakita ng humility din at pagbibigay ng tinatawag natin o pag-aabot ng kamay na magsisilbi na rin naman na paraan para maghilom or magkaroon ng reconciliation even yung mga factions na traditionally hindi nagkakasundoan.
Pero ano yun, Prof? Was it a risk for the sitting Vice President na makipag-ugnayan sa, alam mo naman, nagkaroon ng mga maanghang na banat at salita nung eleksyon? O nakabuti ito sa political tactics ng Vice Presidente ngayon?
Right. Actually, kasi kung titingnan natin, yung kasing past months, especially nitong nagkaroon na nga ng falling out between the Vice President and BBM, and nagkaroon na nga ng hindi rin magandang pagtira, yung mga kaalyado ni BBM, particularly dito sa budget deliberation. At nakita natin dito na medyo yung stance ni VP Sara medyo medyo parang palaban, medyo feisty, no? So, I think itong ginawa niya na pagpunta, no, kay VP Leni Robredo, pagpapakita ng ibang demeanor, no, ibang klase ng personalidad, no, that despite of her na medyo masasabi ng iba na matapang, palaban, kaya rin naman niya magpakumbaba at pumunta doon sa tinuturing niyang kalaban dati, no, and she's willing to extend a hand of reconciliation. So this actually portrays or gives us an impression that the VP, particularly VP Sara Duterte, also has more than just simply putting up a feisty stance, no, in these issues, and that she has this act of goodwill, good manners, no, magandang paraan ng pakikitungo sa ibang tao, kahit pa sinasabi na kalaban sa politika, kahit sinasabi pa na hindi magkasundo before, but she is willing to extend a hand, no, to reconcile with people, kahit pa political rivals yan. I think ito yung pinapakita niya rito.
Tsaka may nagsabi rin, Prof, na mukhang magpapatulong, possible daw na magpatulong doon sa balak di umano na paghahain ng dating Vice Presidente ng electoral protest against BBM, di ba? Kasi siyempre may mga dating opisyal ng DICT yung nagsasabi na nagkaroon ng daya noong 2022 presidential race, at si Attorney Glenn Chong din, no? Tahasan niyang sinasabi na may ugnayan itong administrasyon sa mga pamunuan ng Smartmatic, na ang resulta daw ganyan kalaki ang boto na nakuha ni BBM.
Yes, actually, hindi natin iaalis yun, ano, yung ganong agam-agam. And I think kasi with VP Sara Duterte being a previous insider, no, she actually might have information, and in fact, she could become a vital cog, no, for us to really know the truth kung sakaling meron nga talagang nangyari na hindi maganda, no, nung nakaraang halalan, ano. So I think it could be a way for us to also figure out kung talagang may nangyaring hindi maganda. But I think siguro isa ring sigurong magandang pagnilay-nilayan natin dito ay yung parehong experience ng dalawang vice president, no, na pareho silang hindi naging maganda yung working relationship with their presidents, no, during that time. Maalala natin si VP Duterte, si VP Robredo became the vice president of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, and from the get-go hindi naging maganda yung kanilang samahan. Alam naman natin yun. Itong kay VP Sara, nung una okay sila ni BBM, pero it turned sour as of late, at mas nagiging malala ngayon dahil nga sinasabi na dati sila magkaalyado, tapos ngayon talagang they're already on the opposite fences, no. So medyo similar experience nila. So maybe VP Sara is trying to also ask VP Robredo a thing or two about how you could navigate, you know, the vice presidency, kasi meron pa siyang nalalabing ilang taon, ano, despite the fact na may panggigipit, despite the fact na merong hindi magandang relationship, despite the fact na may mga kaalyadong pangulo na talagang titirahin at pipilitin siyang ibagsak. So how will she be able to manage, no, to get through this or pass these obstacles?
Baka isa rin sa topic, no, yung treatment ng presidente sa vice, 'di ba? Kung pag-uusapan natin yung 6 years ni PRRD, although hindi sila magkasundo talaga at panay-banat ni VP Leni kay former President Duterte, wala namang ganitong mga dynamics. Kung kukumpara sa running mate unit team, BBM and Sara, pero ito ngayon ang sinasapit ng ikalawang pangulo.
Right. I also agree with that. Actually, yung sinasabi rin ng iba na po pwedeng magkaroon ng Duterte-Robredo tandem, I think it may generate substantial public interest, but it could, I think, confuse or alienate their respective supporters. No, many Filipinos, I think, might view this such a partnership, kung sakaling mangyayari, as contradictory due to their past rivalry and opposing political views, no. So Kaya lang ang alam kong gagamitin nila rito yung strong narrative of national unity and collaboration. Kaya lang medyo sa akin hindi rin tamang gamitin kasi medyo napaso na tayo ron di ba? Naalala natin ng 2022 we banked on the idea of national unity, reconciliation, healing and all, pero hindi naman nagmaterialize. So baka hindi siya kagapin ng publiko this time around. Pero I think what should happen here is that yung respective political bases nila medyo magkaroon ng compromise to some extent, but I think it will create a lot of convincing on both camps, particularly on both women leaders, to rally behind yung kanilang mga supporters kasi nga medyo polarized talaga yung agenda, yung principles at yung trajectory ng mga pangyayari, talagang hindi sila magkaugnay hanggang ngayon.
Prof, magandang gabi. Si Anmar po ito. Pero nakikita nyo rin po ba na mali yung parang pagpapalaki ng issue? Kasi kumbaga, nandoon sa lugar ang pangalawang pangulo and it so happen na meron yata silang common friend ba or kung ano at napabisita lang bilang parang courtesy lang doon sa mismong area. Alam naman natin yung pananaw nila sa politika. Binigyan lang ng kulay no napag-alaman na itong dating pangalawang pangulo at kasalukuyang pangalawang pangulo ay nagkita po.
Well, actually kasi hindi lang naman sila yung bumisita kay VP Leni Robredo, hindi lang naman si VP Duterte I think Senator Bong Revilla was also there, DILG Secretary Benhur Abalos also paid a visit pero it did not create as much fear as compared to the controversy now that VP Sara Duterte is actually having dahil dun sa pagbisita niya nga kay VP Leni Robredo. Siguro nga dahil sa yung magnitude nung kanilang mga positions and then yung the fact na anak si VP Sara Duterte ng nakaraang pangulo natin na siya naman naging pangulo nung panahon na kung saan si VP Leni Robredo ay nagsilbi bilang Vice President. I think this is really the meat of the story and I believe kasi that in politics naman lahat ng mga lahat ng mga anggulo, lahat ng mga statements, lahat ng mga pagkikita kagaya nito, whether it's a chance meeting or it's planned, meron talaga ditong political interpretation at maaari talaga mabigyan siya ng political color. Now, I think on the part of the VP Duterte, I think it's good for her na nangyari to, dahil nga I think it created a much needed reprise for her. And the public perception I think is also good dahil nga she is painting herself as somebody who is willing to really make ways or create ways in order to patch whatever it is that they had in the past with VP Leni Robredo. So I think maganda yung impression na na-drawn dito ni VP Sara Duterte.
Opo. Prof, matatawag pa ba na solid yung binansagan o tinaguri ang mga dilaw? Kasi sa isang iglap lang na nagkaroon lang ng pagpupulong, hindi nga siguro mahaba. Sabi nga, walang isyong politika. Siguro, hi-hello, ganito, konting usapan kasi nga fiesta doon sa lugar. Pero parang niyanig sila na pinagdiskitahan pa na itong dating pangalawang pangulo ganito na, parang bumaliktad, bakit kinausap yung mga ganyan, Prof? May ituturing pa ba na matatag yung mga tinaguriang dilaw?
Well, this has always been a perennial problem dito sa mga miyembro ng Liberal Party, particularly itong mga dilawan na sinasabi natin kasi yung narrative kasi sa kanila parang laging black and white if laging polarized kailangan kampi ka namin, walang nothing in between if you are not with us, you're against us and we're against you, something like that. So walang compromise parang walang paraan na kung saan po pwedeng magkaroon tayo ng isang paraan para tayo ay magkita, magkausap, pero hindi naman necessary din na tayo ay magiging magkakampi na. Parang ganun eh. So medyo yun yung pagtingin dito, pagbasa ko rito sa mga traditional members talaga ng Liberal Party. That's really how they do their politics. So I think on the question kung nabasag ba, no, I think ganun talaga sila ever since. They're very passionate about their advocacy. At siguro hindi natin mayaalis sa kanila because that's their brand of politics. Pero what I'm saying is that in this kind of political world that we're in right now, alam naman natin, shifting alliances could actually happen. Pwede magkaroon talaga tayo ng mga compromises, tandems could actually be made overnight. I think they should be open-minded to that possibility. Kasi sa totoo lang, medyo mahina naman talaga na rin ang Liberal Party. No? Substantially, over the years, talagang humina na rin sila. To be honest, itong ang ginagawa ni VP Sara Duterte na pakikipagkasundo sa kanila, maaring isa pa nga itong maging mitya, no, para kahit paano ay mabuhay ulit ang Liberal Party. At wag nating ialis ang ang possibility, no. And if you go back to history, PDP Laban, which again is the the political party right now being chaired by the father of our current vice president, was traditionally aligned with Aquinos, no, particularly itong si Benigno Ninoy Aquino, no, during that time, even Butz Aquino. So wag nating isang tabi yung possibility na yan, because there is really the possibility, like I say, in politics everything is possible. Pwede mangyari yan. Although at this point in time, we don't know where it's going to lead. Maybe it's just a meeting. Maybe it could be something else. Maybe it's going to be the start of a better, a more harmonious relationship between the two of them. We don't know. Pero one good thing about this is that hopefully something good for the nation will come out of this meeting.
Pero parang sa simpleng pagkikita lang nila, nagbukas din ito more sa taong bayan kung anong tunay na kulay nila. Kasi 'di ba, pag ikaw ay nahalal, kahit anumang partido ka, kahit ano yung political view mo, ikaw ay magsisilbi both doon sa bumoto sa iyo at doon sa hindi bumoto sa iyo. Pero parang ganito pa lang, nag-usap lang, ginawa na agad ng maraming mga kwento. Unlike kay kung maibabalik natin kay Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, though magkaiba sila ng pananaw, pero nanindigan siya na hindi pwedeng alisin na yung proposal na impeachment, hayaan, hindi ginipit, 'di ba? Pinabayaan niya, no? Ang naririnig pa rin natin yung mga kritisismo kahit siya ang nasa pamumuno, kahit nasa administrasyon siya, pero rinig na rinig mo yung mga kritisismo pa rin dahil sabi nga niya para maging balanse lahat at karapatan, no, ng sino man kung meron man silang hindi magandang nakikita sa pamumuno, may kalayaan sila. Yun yung naging kaibahan din sa kasalukuyan, parang wala na tayong naririnig na nagche-check and balance po, no? At kagayang ng ganito, iba agad yung impresyon nila na nakikita nila dito sa simpleng pagkikita lang, Prof.
Yes, I agree with that. No? Actually, dito nga natin makikita yung maturity, yung political maturity and the political demeanor nga of the former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, no? Na sad to say hindi natin nakikita or hindi natin medyo na nararanasan at the moment. Pero I think it's high time, no, na this should be also an eye opener to many of us, na magkaroon talaga tayo ng greater sense of political maturity, no? That yun, tama yun, itong mga miyembro ng Liberal Party na mas unawain nila, no, kung ano ba yung mas malalim na kadahilanan nito, at maaring tignan din nila kung ano ba yung possibilities na pwedeng maidulot nito para sa kanilang partido, no? So I don't think it's right that they're going to antagonize VP Robredo, no, regarding this meeting, when in fact VP Robredo is just trying to be human as well, kasi taong nagpunta yung si VP Duterte, tao rin namang hinarap ni VP Robredo. So ano bang gustong gawin ng Liberal Party? Maging bastos si VP Robredo, and I don't think it's not within her character to actually do that, no. So hindi rin naman siguro magugustuhan to ng mga Liberal Party if VP Robredo will be acting like that, no? So I think at the end of the day, we should just need to be more politically mature to understand the dynamics of this, no. At wag tayong masyadong maraming iniisip at maraming ini-entertain na negative thoughts just because of a simple meeting, di ba?